Welcome back to the Brinkcast, episode number 16. Today's episode is a good one. It's our Father's Day episode. You know, we're second week of June here, looking ahead to Father's Day this weekend. And we've got two powerful stories from the past couple of weeks in sports that really hit home for both of us. One literally involving a shitty diaper blowout, which I'm all too familiar with at this point in my life. First up, we're diving into Scottie Scheffler's win at the Memorial, and not just because he's on an insane run right now. He's playing out of his mind. He's, on a Tiger-esque run, but because of what happened right after he drained the final putt, I think most people might have seen this, but I can't get enough of this clip and just kind of reminded me that these guys are human and dads themselves. And when his wife greeted him on the 18th green there on national television, she's seen, handing him their son and uttering, sorry, he's got poop on his back. And Scottie just accepted it like a true dad. And he's right back on diaper duty. So we're going to also shift to a cool story with our guy, Freddie Freeman. We've always liked this guy. I know we have chatted about him on previous episodes, especially last year when we were following the World Series. This story but it really gave me goosebumps hearing it. A fan told him that Grand Slam home run that he hit in Game 1 of the World Series last year was the night that helped him quit drinking. And it's crazy that a sports moment can deliver that. But as dads and as fans, that's the kind of stuff that reminds you why we care so much about these things. But before we get to that, Father Jay, Big Daddy Jay, what's going on? How's the second week of June treating you?
Big Daddy Jay, I like that. Wow.
Daddy Jay.
I've never heard that. I'm going to have to put
I've never uttered those words out of my mouth, and I think that's probably going to be the last time.
Put that on a shirt. I might have to put that on a t-shirt.
That's pretty
I like it.
But
I like it.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good for my rap career. I'm good. June is good. June is good. Some of the weather's been questionable, but the month has been fun. It's been busy.
You know what? June has been unreal. And yes, the weather has been questionable, but we're outside. We're grinding through it. We're doing stuff, at least in my house.
Yes, I agree. 100% here too. I know when I walk the dog in the park, I remember January on days we'd walk in minus 50. And I still remember that when we're walking and I go, it's plus 10, might be a little windy, cloudy, smoky, but it's not minus 50 like it was in January, which is okay. But I like this better.
Yeah, no, 100%. Me too. I like to think about that as well when I'm finding myself outdoors basking in the sun. And I gotta say, I really have to issue a sincere apology to you. I know when spring first arrived, I was giving you a little bit of a hard time when you had admitted to, walking the dog with your phone just playing whatever you're listening to, no headphones.
Yeah.
True dad style. And
the Big Daddy J tunes.
Yeah. Big Shiny Tunes. Big Shiny Tunes 56.
Yeah. Yes.
But no, I gotta say, I've found myself over the last 2-3 weeks now out, like I had alluded to. I'm walking the dogs. I got, stroller in one hand, 2 dogs in the other hand.
Yes.
I know it's not that big of a deal, but to
me,
that's
a lot.
It is, and it makes our lives a hell of a lot easier when we can all walk together, the three of us.
Yeah.
And mom gets a little bit of time to herself, and dad can get the steps in, and Scottie gets to see the world. And I've been listening to everything.
Nice.
Music, Fleetwood Mac, Morgan Wallen,
yes,
Billy Joel. We've had some Dixie Chicks, Taylor Swift, Doechii.
And you're sharing it with everybody. The whole family gets it, though. Yes.
Yeah, and I've also tuned into a few baseball broadcasts and Stanley Cup playoff broadcasts.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I might have to just start bringing a Bluetooth speaker and let that thing really...
Let her go. Let her buck.
Yeah. Let her...
It's not
really
terrible.
Go. So it really isn't. I know I've gotten a few looks and I've scared some people when I've rolled up to their driveway and they're out, in their cars getting out, and all of a sudden they got... Will Fleming screaming at them.
And you're carrying your big ghetto blaster on your arm.
Yeah.
Because it's the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got to say, I'm sorry for giving you such a hard time. It's, great way to listen to some tunes or a game while you're walking the baby and the dog. So you were onto something there, and it's not as crazy as I thought it was.
Well, I always feel so shut out if I have something in my ears. And I can't concentrate on walking the dog. So I just found it easier that way. But it's funny you mentioned that, because I know when Cooper was little and Laura would walk him, and she had her phone, and there was an Al Green record that came out probably in, I'm going to say 2012. And she would listen to that record all the time when they would walk, just on her phone, just having it play. And it was a nice app. She just liked the vibe of walking and having the music on. And I don't know if she ever thought about other people caring about it.
I'm just a a little paranoid, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I listened this week when I was out. I had to watch. I had a podcast on in the park the other day, and it was a podcast where there's some language on it. It's the Red Sox podcast, and there's some language, and I had to shut it off at one point. I'm like, okay, I'm walking by people now, and they don't need to hear these guys screaming profanity about the team. I'm like, God, that might be a little much.
A couple of frick bombs.
So I stopped it.
Yeah.
But good for you. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I liked being shut out from the world for a bit, being in my own little world, going for walks like that. But now I get to, travel with Scottie. And
oh my goodness,
dog.
You got a whole entourage.
Yeah, we're a crew, we're a team.
Yeah,
and we're all dialed in. So, anyways, that's what I've been doing on my walks, and I've been thoroughly enjoying them.
That's good.
The smoke is nutty.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Across the country, and
that's scary,
man. But yeah, I hope that we can get some rain in those parts of the province and the country. And
all the power to the firefighters and everybody up there battling that. I can't even imagine that. That world is so crazy to me. Yeah. Those guys and the guys and women are they have their life on the line every day, and they just keep battling and battling, and they're battling the elements that they have no control over.
Yeah, true heroes, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but other than that. And the wind, Sasky wind is getting a little crazy. We've been outside, and I love it. It's good vibes, man. We had a wedding this past weekend. Mom and dad are going to a concert tomorrow. I feel like I'm 23 again.
There you go.
All this partying, but no,
I love it.
It's a good week. And Father's Day's coming up. First Father's Day for this guy.
Yes, it is. That's a big event. I'm pumped.
Yeah, gonna be cool. Yeah, gonna be really cool. Wife got a little treat today. She came home with some steaks for Sunday dinner. So
there you go. You're set up.
Gonna be eating good on Sunday. I'm excited.
You're set.
Yes, sir.
That is amazing. That's a big deal. Well, the first that first of everything in this year, right, is a big deal. I know last year for Father's Day, I was very excited that it was going to be your first Father's Day this year, but we, jumped the gun and got the hats that we had on last week and stuff. And it's a very exciting time. That's so cool.
It is. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hanging on Sunday. Hopefully we can, get out and do some fun stuff, but just looking forward to hanging with the fam.
That's good.
What else was I going to say about Father's Day? Oh, so we're in CFL season now, and I know pretty casual fan compared to some of the folks in this city, but
yeah.
There is our 1-0, which is cool.
Yes.
Undefeated. And I will say the city does get pretty fired up if they make a playoff run. So always hoping for that. But hey, I was thinking about Father's Day, and I got this crazy memory that has stuck with me my entire life. And I don't know if it was from my first Rider game or at least the first one that I have any sort of memory of. I don't know if I was 7 or 8.
Little. At the old stadium, Taylor Field.
At the old stadium, Taylor Field.
Yes.
So these are the two memories I have. And I think I went with you and Grandpa.
Yep.
But I remember walking into the stadium, and I think it was a bit of I think we were in the ramps walking up, and Buddy had a cigarette beside me. I was walking beside you. Someone had a cigarette, and it touched my arm.
Yeah.
And
I remember.
Kind of burnt it. And I'm like, oh my God. So I remember that. And I remember just thinking, what a crazy amount of people this is. This is kind of nuts. I don't know if I really like this yet. And then settled in or whatever. And I think the rest of the game was fine. But going to the bathroom for the first time there in the troughs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it gets any more Saskatchewan than that. But that is.
Oh, no. They got to bring that back.
One of my first memories of Saskatchewan Rough Rider football, getting a cigarette burn and peeing in a trough in the men's bathroom.
Wow.
Classic,
that's incredible. Good for parenting by me. Last episode, we talked about Coop getting sick from the sun in Woodstock and puking in the emergency room. And now this. I've done such a good job.
Well, hey.
Good thing your guy's mom was outstanding and amazing, because I did a shit job.
No, not at all.
No, I'm just kidding. That was fun going to those games with Grandpa. That was really fun.
That's a great memory of mine. And
totally.
And obviously the first one, but yeah, so many great memories of some great games. I remember going to one game. I think we went to Labor Day the one year. I can't remember what year this was. And I was with you and Grandpa. And I don't know if it was Labor Day, but they were definitely playing Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And opening kickoff, I remember thinking to myself, Corey Holmes was the returner at the time. I'm like, it would be so cool if Corey Holmes just ran this back for a tutty right off the bat. And I don't know why I thought that, because obviously it would be cool. It's the coolest thing that could happen. Mm-hmm. And he did. Yeah. And it was electric. Obviously, anyone that's been to a Rider game here knows how fun and how wild it can be. But
that old park got crazy. That park got loud. Oh man. Yeah. Man, oh man. There was nothing like it. There was nothing like sitting in there. And we never sat on the old side, I don't think, with the wood benches on the sunny side, but that was pretty amazing sitting on that side of the field, and you'd be roasting. And you'd be by the university section, and they were nuts.
Later in I can't remember. Yeah. That must have been 2016, the last season there? Anyways, right when I was a little older, sitting on that sunny side, man. Oh
yeah. Elite, for 3 hours.
And Pilsners, and Pilsners are warm, like.
Yeah, and the bathrooms were worse on that side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But people loved it. It was like it was classic. It was just it was a historic place in town. Like, it was just
historic. Yeah,
and we saw the Stones there.
Yeah,
you and me. We saw the Rolling Stones at that concert. Changed Regina, I think. But man, that, like, when I think of Taylor Field, like, there's a bunch of things. I know I did the drum group thing in 2009. We played the halftime thing and whatever. But I think of a bunch of those things of going with you and stuff. But the Stones thing was just like, right at the top of the list. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Little old Regina.
Yeah.
At our shitty little CFL stadium, which is
electric.
Unreal to us.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got to experience that, because, like you say, it's such a big part of history in this city and province, and caught the tail end of it. And now obviously we got new Mosaic, which is nice, but the atmosphere just doesn't even compare to what it was.
Everybody was on top of each other at that old place, man. Yeah, when the team was rolling, holy smokes.
Yeah, good times for sure. No, Father's Day just made me think of that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It does. Those things make you think back of a lot of those memories and stuff, and you recall all that stuff. That's good. I'm so glad. Yeah, that makes me smile when you share those things that you remember as a kid. I love it. I do.
Good. Yeah, that's why we're here. But
that's exactly why we're here.
Another cool moment, I guess. This wasn't for Father's Day, but we went to the old Regina Red Sox game. Another local sports team. Just getting a local sports team chatter in here quick. But the Regina Red Sox play out of the Western Canadian Baseball League. Pretty cool little team, little league.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to go to those games, and those players, man, they're for real. They're all, like, college players, and
they play hard.
Might be some, junior university players, university players there too. But I was so impressed. Like, I've went to a handful of games in the past, and you just kind of forget that, you can do that here, even though it's not like necessarily, huge pro league or team. It's a great time. I love going to a ball game, especially, like, I know when we went, it was like 60K winds. We were braving the elements, but if it had been, sunny and 25 degrees, man.
Well, like yesterday.
Oh.
It would have been
unbelievable.
Epic. But there was still lots of people there, right?
There was, yeah. Old Curry Field can be an atmosphere in itself, I feel like, as well.
Yeah.
Again, a place that's been there for
a long time. I remember playing high school ball there on the high school team. I remember we would play games there, and it was like a big deal to play at Curry Field.
Yeah. So, like, at least 50 years ago when you were in high school.
Back in 64.
that was a lot of fun. And I got to shout out this right fielder for the Sox, Jackson Suring, I think his name is. Had a hell of a game. Two of the most
he was on fire that day.
In the game, he hit a grand slam, I think, in the 5th or 6th inning, and then got the final out on a crazy little diving catch out in right field. So yeah, it was a fun game, and I hope we can go to more of those. And like I said, if no one's checked it out, I would highly recommend it. It's a good way to spend an afternoon or evening for sure.
Well, there's so many great teams. There's teams in Alberta and Manitoba, all the Saskatchewan teams like Swift Current, the Saskatoon Berries, and the Moose Jaw Miller Express, and I think the attendance has been going up for sure at Curry. Like in the last couple of years, we've went to a few games, and some of those games they're getting about 1,000 people in that park, which is pretty good. And they got lots of sponsorship, and they get they make it real fun for families, and the kids love going. Coop just loves going. Like they hang out with their buddies for the whole game, and
kids love it. They're just doing laps, gathering foul balls and home run balls, and
$2 for a foul ball. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
In exchange for a bag of candy or whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a win.
There's nothing like hearing that crack of the bat live like that, and watching some baseball. So
totally. Yeah. Next one will that was an afternoon game, but next one we'll go on a Friday night or something where we're under the lights. That's pretty fun.
100%.
That'd be a ton of fun.
For that.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. And that was really fun for me. Again, I got to be there, and you and Jayla and Coop were all there, and it was just amazing just sitting there and just looking around, and you guys are all hanging out. We're just chatting and catching up on stuff and watching this game. And I was like, there's nowhere in the world I would rather be than this place right now. And, the wind's blowing and stuff. And I'm like, doesn't even matter. It was so great. I loved it.
Those are the dad moments you really cherish.
Oh yeah,
56.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. But you realize again when you're a little older, you really realize that those are the things that are important that you don't take for granted. Like getting to hang out with you guys for 3 hours that day was a giant deal.
I'm starting to understand that as a dad. I can't wait to make memories like that with Scottie, obviously too. But it was a great time, man. I really enjoyed it, and we got to check out some more Regina Red Sox baseball.
Yeah, we'll bring Scottie next time.
Yeah,
she could run the bases at the end with Coop.
Yeah, she will be soon.
She's got to be close.
We're on the walking training regimen.
Yes, really? All right.
No, we're just.
Do you want to borrow the walking pad? Maybe she needs that. Maybe that's the motivator.
She'll be on that by September.
Get her over here.
It'll be before that.
Yeah, her and Grandpa will do some laps. It'll be perfect.
Yeah. Trying to help her out. She's got the balance. She just walks with us in when we're holding her and stuff, and would just prefer to sit down and crawl over because it's quicker, and she knows how to do that already. So just getting her used to that. But I think in the next few weeks here, she'll take some steps.
Oh my goodness, the first steps are. Oh man, that's a big deal.
I know. And who was going to be there to see?
Yeah, I know,
Who's
right?
Going to be there. When's it
It better not be tomorrow night when you guys are at the concert.
Yeah.
And if it is, the grandparents just better keep quiet about it like it never happened.
Yeah, as long as it's
I would.
Both of us missing it, I think that's acceptable. But would rather just do it one Saturday afternoon at home.
Totally. Well, she's going for that remote control, so she's got to just run across the room sometime to grab it.
This remote control, man, she takes the back.
And is it a specific one or is it all of them?
Well, now it's two of them.
Yes.
But the Fire Stick one is a little smaller. So
she
likes
so it can fit in her hand.
That's her favorite remote.
Yeah.
But she's figured out that she can take the back. This is horrible parenting.
Oh no!
Also by me, she can take the back off the other remote, which exposes the batteries. So a couple times last week, I know it happened with me once, and then Jess had mentioned it happened with her. Take your eyes off her for 2 seconds, and then you look back, and she's got batteries exposed, and the back's off, and she's throwing the batteries, and she's throwing the remote, and it's a scene. So I think we're gonna have to tape the back shut.
And that's exactly. I was just gonna say some black duct tape on the back of that bad boy. You're done.
Yeah. So.
My goodness, great! That's insane. I thought you were gonna say she was changing batteries from one remote to the other.
No, not quite.
Because she's smart.
She's relentless and smart. Relentless and smart. That's what
That's
we're going for.
Brilliant. I love it. What a girl. That's our
Yes,
girl.
sir. Yes, she's a lot of fun. But
Yes.
those remotes, man, problem.
Yeah.
They are.
It's a motivator, though. That'll get her walking.
Yeah, true.
It's the day and age we're at.
That's right. I would like to discuss something in the Boston Red Sox universe. So tonight,
Yes.
let me just set the scene here, folks. Let me set the scene.
Please do.
Okay, so we got a 5:10, 5:05 first pitch in the Sox game tonight. So I get everyone ready.
They started a minute early. Apparently, it was at 5:11.
Okay. So I thought this is perfect. We'll get the first inning on the phone, and we'll go for a walk around the block. Smoke's kind of clear right now. Let's go. We did that. We were cruising along, and Roman Anthony, the number one prospect in baseball, came to the plate in the bottom of the first inning. Now, a little bit of context here, and Dad, jump in whenever you see fit, but Roman Anthony is supposed to be the savior. He's going to save my father's sanity. He's going to save all of New England's sanity this summer by turning around this very, 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 very average Boston Red Sox team.
500 for the last 4 years.
And the folks of Massachusetts have been calling for this for quite some time, and it finally happened. He got called up to the show, and yesterday was his first game. He went 0 for 4, I believe, but that's neither here nor there. It's one game. First 4 at-bats. Guy got to the park, I think mid-afternoon yesterday. So not going to worry about that. But tonight, looking for Mr. Anthony to do something. And he comes to the plate in the bottom of the first, and he works the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Devers and I believe it's Duran are on base.
I think it was Narvaez, but I can't remember.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because Duran struck out. Yeah. Not that I'm a fan, but
he knows, folks. He knows what's going on. And the call was just incredible on the radio, and obviously they had been chatting about this young lad for some time. And,
oh my goodness,
and just waiting for him to get his first hit. And in the bottom of the first inning, let's throw it over to Will Fleming.
Anthony, the pitch is ripped into left.
Let's go, Mr.
Man,
Anthony.
Unbelievable. And his parents are freaking out.
First hit in the major leagues, 2-run double to put the Sox up. And we might be looking back on this June 10th evening and saying this is what turned the season around. But the baseball stuff is very cool. But the fact that his family was there, and we're getting to know a little bit more about the Anthony clan, and they seem interesting to say the least. But what a moment for that family. His mom and dad, I believe his sister and brother were there as well, sitting in the dugout, watching their little Roman at the plate at Fenway Park, first major league hit. That was just incredible stuff. I love seeing those kind of moments, with big life moments and big sports moments like that. And then just seeing the family's reaction to it was incredible.
Oh, it's always the best. Like anytime anybody gets called up like that. And this year he's the third of the 3, like the big 3 that they had, Christian Campbell and Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony. And they thought Roman Anthony was going to be the first guy to come up, and he was the last guy to come up. But all their families at the games when this happens, they see them get their first hits. Marcelo Meyer's family's in New York when he hits his first home run. That's huge. And when you see that, his mom's honest reaction, like she's in tears. His dad's like, I don't know if he's ever smiled that big in his whole lifetime, and they're thinking back to all they interviewed him too. My Webster interviewed him, and they were just talking about like all the years of minor league ball and all the traveling and all the stuff that the family, did to, kind of get it to this point and stuff. And they just said, his work ethic was amazing, but that's it. Like, that's the ticket. That's the ticket, is you see that and go, that is bigger than the game. The game is one thing. They're on the field playing the game, but man, that is bigger than anything at all.
Yeah. Incredible stuff. And yeah, baseball especially, like, could have had the camera on them for all 4 of his at-bats, and he might not have did anything, but man, so special for him. And then just to think about his parents and all the sacrifices that they made, and how good that must feel for them, or how, just pure jubilation at that point was, special moment. So it was weird that I get this excited about this stuff, but I think, like I'd mentioned, these moments matter to us because we, care about the game and the people in the game. I was just walking the dogs and Scottie there, and I had goosebumps, and I was fired up, and I was so happy for the Red Sox to get a little bit of positivity.
Totally.
And they ended up
just a W,
getting the dub. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was a very big deal. And one of the funniest parts about it is they were interviewing his parents and stuff, and they just couldn't stop focusing on his dad's name. This is a true story. His dad's name is Anthony.
This is
and to take it a step further, his brother's name is Anthony.
So we got Anthony Jr. and Anthony Sr. Or is it Anthony? I guess, yeah. It'd be Anthony Jr. Anthony.
And when they did the interview, Jemai Webster actually called him Tony, but it is Anthony.
The father?
So, yes. Anthony. So if Roman Anthony had been named Anthony, he would have been Anthony the Third, which would have been kind of crazy. And I'm sure that's going to go around. Like, how could it not, right? That is kind of funny.
Need a reality show on the Anthonys here, I think.
Exactly.
This is going to mix me up because I'm so into the Sopranos right now.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Tony, Anthony, and Roman
Yeah.
Anthony.
And then you throw a last name in there.
Yeah.
Holy. Yeah, no, it was pretty crazy. What a crazy moment. And he had a great sliding catch, and I think he'll slot into the lineup, and this is motivation when you get this young, that sort of young, infectious vibe going on and stuff. And, you never know. Like, there's been things like this that have turned seasons around. Yeah. It's just something to push ahead. And, the other night, when he was still playing in AAA, he hit a 497-foot grand slam.
Yeah. And that was
like, at that point, the guy's done in AAA. Like, at that point, it's like he has nothing more to prove here.
Yeah.
Like 500 feet. Completely insane.
Yeah.
And he'll unload right away. Like, it won't be long here, and he's going to slam one out of Fenway. And if it's not tomorrow, it's going to be this weekend against the Yankees, which will be amazing.
Another series against the Yankees after taking
2 or 3
from them last weekend.
Yeah, beating Rodon. Oh my goodness, believable. Yeah, they got some grit. They just have to stop losing 1-run games.
Last time we chatted wasn't really great.
No,
sitting there in our cute little matching hats, and
I know the team that's just sucking. Yeah, but baseball's a stupid sport. It's so dumb. Like, we could be having this conversation now, and in August when we do a podcast, go, hey, they're leading the division now. Like, it's wacky. I don't know why I invest so much time.
Those moments, man. Those moments.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's exactly it. Is all that sports stuff is you wait for those stories. You wait for that thing that kind of brings you back in. It reels you in, which I love.
Yeah, but I'll be interested to learn a little bit more about the Anthonys in the near future.
Yes. Oh, well, you'll hear lots about them. I think so.
And the Jays are getting a little hot now, and
they're playing too good. I know that's why they got to knock Tampa. They beat New York, which is a division game. They got to win this series against Tampa, another division series. Yeah, the Jays got to cool down. I don't know what's going on there. Those guys got to Barger, and those guys got to just.
They're another just gritty lineup. Like,
they 100% they are, and the young guys. Like, it's all the young guys,
Straw,
right? Ernie Clement.
Yeah,
they're tearing it up.
Who are these guys?
Yeah, I know, right? And you just that's how this game goes. Is a team gets rolling, and then they believe they're playing better than they can.
They almost blew it tonight. I don't know if you saw that, but
no, I was kind of following a bit, but
yeah, they were up 8-6 and made it 10-6, I believe, and then Cards came back, made it 10-9. But they
held on.
Yeah.
Yikes! That's in St. Louis too. So wow.
Yeah, baseball, man. How many games we got left?
About 100. I know. And after 100, you could ask me how many I've actually consumed, and it will be parts of 100. Like a lot of parts of it. Oh, yeah. I've already got my schedule planned for the weekend for this road trip we got. Tomorrow night, we're going to be listening to the game. Thursday, they got a day off. Friday, I'm traveling again. I've got a plan. I've got it all worked out for game days. And then Sunday, when we drive back, we'll be listening to the game on the way back.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's too much of the schedule. I actually schedule these things.
Well, it's Father's Day weekend. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
You can do that guilt-free this weekend.
That's true. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's Father's Day on Sunday. So for 3 hours of our 8-hour drive, I should be able to listen. Or I'll probably turn it off halfway through if they're getting crushed.
Yeah. Stay the course.
Whatever. Exactly.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
We're on the way up right now.
That's exactly right.
But
yeah, no, there's nothing like it, man. It's a great sport.
It is. It sure is. Yeah, shifting gears a little bit, I wanted to chat about just such another cool moment in the sports world. It's in the golf world, and I know a lot of folks probably don't follow golf.
Oh, I think a lot of people follow golf.
I shouldn't say that. It's a pretty popular game.
I'd
say, hey?
Yeah, I'd.
No, but golf consumes a lot of my time. Thinking about golf, practicing golf, not playing as much golf anymore, but thinking about golf, watching golf, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks ago, Scottie Scheffler, the world number one, and the man that I named my daughter after. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. But she did have a Halloween costume.
Yeah, she did have a great Scottie Scheffler costume. World number one was competing in the Memorial Tournament. This is 2 weeks ago now. And Scottie, to this point, had 2 wins on the year. He's never been out of the top 25 all season in any event. He's on a Tiger-esque run, and I wasn't really watching golf when Tiger was in his heyday, but from what I have seen of Tiger's insane run there in the early 2000s, this is kind of the only thing that's come close to that. And he was looking for his back-to-back wins at the Memorial for the second year in a row, and he just, didn't take his foot off the pedal once throughout that whole tournament. I think he held a lead for most of the tournament and ended up winning by 4 strokes. But coolest moment for me and for a lot of people was watching Scottie on 18. So he hits, he's already, he's up by 4. So he's got this thing basically sealed in true Scottie Scheffler fashion. Gets on the green. He's got about 7 footer for his par, and absolutely cans it. Wins the tournament, wins $4 million. His wife, Meredith, brings their son over to the green to celebrate, and he's greeted with a absolute blowout. And his wife utters to him on national television, "Oh, sorry, he's got a little bit of poop on him there." And,
no!
And Scottie goes, "That'll happen." And yes, Scottie, that will happen. And this is probably one of the only times I can relate to a one Scottie Scheffler.
Yes.
Dealing with the old blowouts. So it's an epidemic, these blowouts. They're happening to everyone. No one's safe. You could be the number one golfer in the world, just, cash a quick $4 million and secure another victory, and you're right back to diaper duty. So
still got to make a change. Wow, that's crazy.
Just an incredible moment. And Scottie's he's always got his son there. Pretty funny moment at the PGA Championship, a major he won this year, where he's in the clubhouse signing his card, and he's got his kid, and he puts his kid down and gives his kid his hat and his keys and scorecard, or just like a pencil or something to distract him while he signs his card and submits it or whatever. So Scottie Scheffler, not only world number one golfer, but he's throwing his hat in the ring for dad of the year as well.
Super dad. Yeah, no kidding. Now I'm just thinking it'd be really funny if I said to you, "How old is his son?" And you'd be like, "He's 8."
No, he's a young lad. I don't even know.
Yeah,
if
right.
he's
Of
one,
course.
but
That's pretty funny. Man, isn't that just bring you right down to earth, eh?
Yeah. Snap you right back down to reality.
And him take it and go, "This is what we do."
That's
like,
right.
I play golf, but this is actually what I do.
Yep. 100%.
I'm a dad.
I haven't had many of those moments.
That's amazing.
Where, you're humbled really fast. I mean, I'm just constantly getting humbled. It feels like
right.
It's not,
of course.
It's just all the time, still learning, But
you and Banks are the only males in the house. It's going to happen forever.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. I've accepted it.
Yeah.
I've accepted that role. No, but just, such a major life moment. And then all of a sudden you're on diaper duty, pal. And it's the way it is.
Totally. That's just crazy.
Yeah. Such a cool moment. And just being hilarious that it's, national TV, and Jim Nantz is commentating on the poopy diaper situation after the win there.
Well, his wife's comment, like, if that was actually picked up on the audio of that's incredible.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so good. He's got a little poop there.
I love it. And that was obviously a PGA event. Yeah. So I'm guessing the PGA, we should probably, that's poop gone awry. I'm guessing should be the,
Well, that was
for that particular one.
100%.
I don't know.
That is
maybe.
a true
That's-
PGA right there.
I love that. I've always wondered, in sports, like, it doesn't matter what sport it is or anything in life, but sports for sure, you just have like a great game. You win a championship, you have a terrible game. It doesn't matter. And you go home and your family's all in bed and you wake up in the morning at 8 a.m. and you're on like feeding duty or diaper duty. You got to change your baby. And all of a sudden, you went from like being a champion to just kind of back to a dad, which I think is a great reset. I bet you that's amazing for players.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely not. Yeah.
You're not the most important person in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Not at all.
No, you got a job to do for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And I never really, I always kind of assume, I don't know what I assumed. I don't know. Yeah. Those guys got to do it, man.
Yeah. Well, if they're doing it right, if they're good parents and they're in, right? Like I know the Red Sox that we had talked about it, and I know we'll talk about it, but the documentary that was on Netflix and Tyler O'Neill and Willie Abreu, and they show clips of them with their little kids, and it's amazing. Like it's like, yeah, this is just normal home life. They just happen to go do this other thing that's incredible and millions of people watch, but they're just normal dudes, taking their little girl for a walk or playing on the floor, rolling stuff around or whatever. Like, I don't know. Again, you're not the most important person in the house.
Yeah, no, exactly. I never really considered that much. A lot of things, I find myself saying that a lot lately, but till you're in it and doing it. But
absolutely.
Yeah, such a funny moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. What a great story. Wow, I love that. Yes. He probably got more hits on anything because of that than just winning a golf thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it went I think it went pretty viral.
I would guess so. I would guess just the clip of his wife saying that must have went viral.
Old Scottie Scheffler. He's only 28 years old, but
what?
He reminds me a lot of like a 45-year-old man.
Really? Yeah. Like it just seems like he's been around the game forever
just an old soul, the way he goes about his business, it seems like. And
that's incredible.
That's
really good.
Just takes guys to the cleaners though on the golf course.
Yeah, right. He's playing golf.
I recently there was in one of his press conferences, he was talking about when he goes home and to Texas and plays with his buddies on the weekends or when he's not in an event, and he has to give guys like 20 strokes to make it even, and he's still winning. And yeah, It's just incredible. Just a different animal.
Why would they even go play with him?
Yeah,
man.
No, that's what you do.
I guess so. Yeah, you got to keep playing, right?
Percent.
And if you're his buddy, you're telling everybody you're going out and playing with your buddy Scottie, going golfing.
You get the opportunity to try and take some money off Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah, that's right. He's got it. Why wouldn't you? Just pay him back in diapers or something, maybe. Wipes.
Yeah. No, I'll be watching a lot of golf this weekend. US Open weekend, another major. And yeah, Scottie's the odds-on favorite as he has been
of course.
all year. And just so happens that it falls on Father's Day, so I know a lot of fathers got Sunday afternoon plans.
Get to book that one in.
On the sofa.
That's a given.
On the old Chesterfield. Maybe a couple.
Chesterfield.
Maybe a couple pops.
Yeah, for the pops. Yeah.
I know a lot of fathers are going to be doing that. I think I'm probably going to tune in for the back nine. Maybe we'll see what happens. It's always fun to watch the final stretch, and I imagine old Scottie Scheffler will be right there, and we'll be on blowout watch again.
Yes, exactly. And your biggest mission is to keep the remote away from Scottie J.
Yes.
Because she'll turn the channel on you.
Yes, she will.
Or take the batteries out and you won't be able to change them.
Yes, she will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
I love it.
Funny stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, and I guess switching gears again, and we're going to go back to some baseball.
Yeah.
I know, people haven't heard enough of us chat about baseball.
We can't get enough.
But no, this is more than baseball. This is a story that came out recently about our guy, Freddie Freeman. I know we had chatted about him in earlier episodes, especially last fall when we kind of started doing this during the World Series there. Freddie had an unbelievable postseason and World Series. And in game one of the World Series, he hit a massive walk-off grand slam to go one up on the Yankees. And that moment in itself garnered a lot of attention just because of, well, the magnitude of it at the time, and then the story of Freddie's father and what he means to him, and how he ran to him immediately after he touched home plate, and with the passing of his mom years back, and all the time that they had spent with the game, just an incredible moment. But there was 30,000 or 20,000 other people in the park watching that game that night, and I'm sure there's thousands of other stories similar to this one, but this one was very cool. It was at a Dodgers luncheon, I believe it was, for the charity event for the LA fires, I believe in January. And a fan that was there told, a few minutes with Freddie, and told him a story that night he vowed to quit drinking to be more present in his son's lives. And he was in the park in right field with his sons when the ball went over his head, and experienced that moment with his sons. And he didn't drink that night, and he hasn't drank since. And
no way.
The next morning he said that all his sons wanted to do was get up and play baseball. So that's what they did. He would recall times where he had been, not feeling the best, or, hungover, and he couldn't do that with them. So just such a crazy moment. And then just seeing Freddie Freeman talk about that, you really understood what it meant to him. Like, I have his quote here when asked, what that story had meant to him. He just said, just chills. And you think about how not just baseball, but sports can impact people's lives in such a positive way. To be able to be a part of something like that is a pretty special thing. I love this game. This game helped me get through hard times when I lost my mom and stuff like that. Me and my dad would be out there playing baseball, doing things. And when you come full circle 25 years later, when you're 35 and you create a moment for someone, that's what it's all about for me. I love winning and championships, but to know that I was able to impact someone's life in such a positive way, I still don't know if I can grasp it. And pretty powerful interview when he was speaking about that, at least kind of hit me a little hard thinking about that and seeing the emotion in his face. But just what a cool moment, first off, and what a cool channel or avenue that sports is, that delivers these moments year in, year out. And it's largely because what it means, like, greater than the game. Like, those moments just deliver something that not a lot of other things can, I think. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it was very cool, and another special piece to that historic World Series moment.
Yeah. Wow. That's that. Yeah. I'd never heard that story before. That's crazy how that stuff can just touch people. Like, you never know what motivates someone, or, could change someone's life like that. And Freddie Freeman's such a positive guy. Like, anybody that's ever seen anything on him, you can't help but love him. Like, he's such a great guy. He's a great dad. Like, you see all the pictures of his wife and his kids, and and everything he does is just, it revolves around them. Like, he's in the game, but total family first guy, and that's probably what this, I'm guessing this person must have seen, is like, he's such a great role model for his own family, but he has this special moment in the sport he plays, and this person's connected to that. Yeah, and something just sort of registered, right?
Shared it indirectly,
yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Said, so.
No, that's huge. Like, human beings never know in any day, in any moment, what they could be doing that could change someone's life. Like, you just don't know what you say, what you're doing, what your actions could do to change something. I see it a bunch in the music world, just with songwriting, things like that. That stuff happens all the time, but you never know. And sports, same thing. Like, that could be a very, very big motivator for someone to make a change in life, which is probably, going to change generations of his family now.
Yeah.
100%. Which is gigantic. Like, there's no price on that. There's no anything. Like, you cannot equate that to anything but going, that's, the power of the human spirit.
Yeah.
Man.
Very cool. Very cool. And I know a lot of people probably have a story like that, or at least the people that were there. I'm sure that night meant a lot to them, and whatever else happened in their lives that night. But yeah, cool moment. I think that highlight is going to live on forever in Los Angeles, and they'll be playing that one on the scoreboard for many years to come.
Yeah. I would guess so. And again, as your responsibility as a professional athlete extends way beyond the game. Like, you are, an ambassador of humans. People watch you. There's eyes on you all the time. People are, especially now with social media. It's like, and he's active on social media. Like, I think he's very, I think he posts lots about his family. You see his wife's named Chelsea. I can't remember, but you see him with the kids. And when he went through that with his son that was sick, like that whole thing and stuff, it's like, yeah, he's a real deal. Yeah. 100%.
No, Freddie's the man. A huge fan.
Yeah.
Huge fan, no matter what team you root for.
And his mom was Canadian.
Hard not to be a Freddie Freeman fan. Yes, his mom's Canadian, and he chooses to play for the Canadian national team, which is also nice as two Canadian boys sitting here.
Yeah, right. Of course. In tribute to his mom, like that was that's his reasoning
cool
behind
that
it.
He does that, and he also his mom passed away from skin cancer, so he wears sleeves every time he plays
all the time in LA, the hot sun,
which I never really picked up on until recently, but yeah, very cool guy. Very interesting.
You never see his arms.
Definitely one of the good ones in the game and the sports world.
100%. That's such a great story. I've got to find that and hear that interview because I'd like to know more about that. That's a really good one.
Yeah, and there's got to be, I'm always interested in those backstories and digging a little deeper than just the box score kind of thing. So,
right,
it's super cool.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like we, even going back to the Roman Anthony thing and stuff, it is those stories. Like it is that the game is the game. It always will be the game. It's throwing a ball, hitting a ball, shooting a puck, stopping a puck, whatever. But you got to realize these people are human beings. Every day is the same as all of us. Every night they're waking up in the middle of the night, maybe with their kids that are sick or whatever. And it's like, it's just perspective. And you go, wow, that's, there's a connection on that. And they can extend that. Like they have so much influence and impact on the outside world of, who they could reach with their power of who they are. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Very cool.
That's fantastic. From a golfer's kid shitting all over him to Freddie Freeman. Wow. Anything can happen as a dad. If there's anything I've learned.
It's true.
That's what I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool ones out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And every day you battle to be the best you can, right?
It's nice to see like we had alluded to, Freddie and Scottie obviously top of their game in what they do and can do things that not a lot of people can do athletically, but we can relate to them on some level.
The dad level,
as parents,
of course.
As fathers, right? So it's cool to see that.
Yeah, that's amazing when you look around. Like you see, like guys like LeBron, and who just keep go through the gamut of sports, music, whatever, and you go.
I don't know if LeBron is the best example to use at this moment in time, but
maybe not. That's true. That's very true.
I know what
Good
you
point.
mean. Yeah.
Good point. But he's a dad.
Yeah, he is a dad.
All those people that, and even actors, like you see, people in the movie world and, they have kids. Sandler. Maybe we'll throw his name out there. He seems like a fun dad, and he's family first. Like I was just listening to a thing last week with Conan, and it's hilarious. He's hilarious with his kids. Like, I'm like, man, he'd be a riot.
Also,
but yeah, you're right. Every day, every morning you wake up, you're a dad. You wake up and you're like, what dad things do we do today?
You know who else is a dad that I didn't know that was a dad? Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's
summer.
right.
And I believe
that's right.
Happy has some kids. He's got some sons.
Why?
So I can't wait to see how Happy Gilmore is as a father.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that movie. That's funny you brought up Sandler because that's coming out and it's gonna be a good one. I remember watching that one for outrageous. The first time on VHS, or I think it was VHS, maybe DVD, or back in the 2000s.
I love that people will be like, VHS, what is that? What are you talking about?
VHS, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you're not that young. You know some things. There's been lots that has changed in the last 30 years.
Yeah, no, I'm not that young. Not that young.
Things move fast. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding around.
I wonder if Coop's ever seen Happy Gilmore.
You know what? Here's another proud dad moment of mine.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. Ontario, for one of his birthdays, we had a movie night outside. And I was like, this would be great. And we'll watch Happy Gilmore, not thinking the context of the movie, the language, all the stuff going on in the movie. And we got about a quarter of the way through, and Laura was like, I don't know if this is the best movie to play, like, for the family and everybody. And I'm like, that's totally fine.
It's probably the best Sandler movie.
He probably doesn't remember it.
I don't
the
think
best what?
I said it's probably the best Sandler movie you could play.
That's true.
Out of his catalog.
That's good. That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember that as well.
Yes. Jeez, I've had a bunch of these. We got every episode we do this, something's going to come up and I'll be like, oh man, there's another one I messed up on. All these secrets that I've put in the back. Yeah. And all of a sudden they're all coming to the front. It's like, you guys are all still alive though. This is okay.
Yeah. No, it's all good. We're going to have
Happy Gilmore.
That's funny. Yeah. We got ties to Happy Gilmore, I guess, but yeah, Happy Gilmore too. Can't wait to check that out.
Jeez.
It's going to be a fun one.
That's really funny. What was the other, sorry, I'm getting distracted here now, but what was the other Sandler movie?
Big Daddy.
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison. Last week, Coop's class went on a field trip and they went and played tennis. So they walked over to the tennis courts and they're playing tennis. And after school, I picked him up and I said, how did it go? And he's like, that was great. And he was talking about a couple of the kids and they were launching tennis balls over the do you remember that from Billy Madison when he was playing tennis and he was like smashing the balls? They were trying to play a serious game of tennis and they were smashing hit him like baseballs.
No, I got to go back and watch that one. I haven't seen it for years.
So these kids were doing that and they were railing them off. It was over at the Rick Hansen Park by the Hamilton.
Yeah.
And they were hitting the top of the Hamilton rink and they're grade 7 boys. This is what you do, right?
Till they ran out of balls, and then we had to go back to school.
Well, this is that's funny that you say that too, because he said, I don't know if he said they started and they had 28 tennis balls, and I said, so if you guys are hitting them over the thing, like how many did you end up with at the end? He said 35. I was like, what? You found some extra ones while you were out there?
That's good math. That's boy math right there.
It was great, but that's grade 7 boys. That's their idea of tennis. Yeah. And they go again next week. So I'm sure there'll be more stories, but that was another Sandler thing in Billy Madison.
That's funny.
Yeah. Ay.
No, that's great.
There's no shortage of action as a father. If you haven't noticed.
Yeah. You just got to take some time and think about it.
Yeah. Just hang on for the ride.
That's right.
And you got all the girls in the house. You got to really hang on.
Yeah.
It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You're gonna have to start coming over a little bit more often. Little timeouts here and there. We'll go for walks and we'll both have our phones on listening to different things.
No, it's all good. These girls are the best part of my day.
Absolutely, man. It's the best part of everything. I wouldn't trade it for anything in my life. The best lessons I've ever learned have been from being a parent. The most fun I've had being a parent.
Yeah, I look forward to a long list of lessons I'm about to learn in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to, I'd say being on the sidelines and watching you learn them, but we're there to help if you need help on them, but there'll be some good stories. I can guarantee there'll be some good stories.
So what's on the agenda for the rest of the week? You're going to
the rest of our Alberta. Father's Day weekend.
You're playing shows.
It's taken up by a road trip.
Tournaments. You were listening.
You got a
to
road
Red
trip
Sox
to
games.
Okotoks, Alberta. Nice. Yes, tomorrow Coop has his final day of track. He finished. He's in the city finals, and today he got 3rd in the city in long jump and 6th in the city in high jump.
Nice.
And his highest jump, it was crazy. The pole was at my chin. Like I'm 5'10". The pole was at my chin. Coop's 4'9", but he's more 4'8", and he cleared it. I could not believe it. And then the other kids that won, that finished ahead of him, were giants. Like these kids in grade 7 now are like, 5'10". It's crazy. But yeah, he had a great day. So he goes to track tomorrow, and then we jump in the car and we head to Okotoks, Alberta for the Father's Day Classic U13 AAA baseball tournament this weekend, which will be a lot of fun. I think so. And some Red Sox games will follow along the way. And I got a gig Friday. I got to fly from Calgary to Edmonton and go play up in Whitecourt, Alberta on Friday night with Aaron. We haven't played in a while, so that'll be fun, playing his new song, and fly back Saturday and continue the baseball tournament fun. And we go to an Okotoks Dogs game on Saturday night, which is they're in the same league as the Regina Red Sox.
That's awesome. The Dogs.
With all the dads. All the dads will be there, and I'm sure it'll be a big dad celebration this weekend.
That's awesome. That sounds busy as heck for you and your travels there and your
Yeah, it'll be a busy one. It'll be fun though.
And you're playing and you're
all the dad.
driving.
All the dadding. And the funny part about the playing is when we haven't seen each other for a while in the band, and we know each other very well. And most of us in the band this weekend, most of us in the band all have children. And when we get to a gig, the first thing we talk about is our kids. And we just like catch up on what the kids are doing. You know, some people have kids in high school, some are still in public school, some have older kids that are, you know, adults now. Like, but everybody, like, that's the first point of conversation is how's the family, how's the kids, you know. We know what we're there for. We're going to go play music and people are going to have fun, and, you know, we're going to play Hold My Beer and they're going to go crazy. But, you know, it's family first with the band too, which is really kind of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like it's probably not always like that in bands or, you know, employers or teams or whatever it is, right? So that's so great that you have close group like that, and I imagine it makes going to do that and travel all over the place a little easier and a lot more fun. Absolutely.
Well, when we're away, like when there's stretches when we're away for a long time, you know, that is the focus. Like everybody knows everybody's family and stuff, and that's a normal sort of way to function. So it is kind of weird being in a situation where it's like, wow, no one else here has kids and you can't really have that kind of conversation with them. So you talk about music stuff, which is fine, but it's a bit deeper when you can, you know, get in the weeds with family and everybody cares, right? I love it. Yeah, I know it'll be a fun weekend. It should be, I don't know, it should be lots of fun. I won't get to watch golf Sunday because I'll be driving back 8 hours, but we'll see. I've either stopped on the roadside for some drinks because the Red Sox are losing to the Yankees, or we'll just drive right through and it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I'll do enough golf.
And you're eating steaks?
Yeah, I'll be having steaks.
Steaks, golf,
wow.
Concert tomorrow.
Sounds like pretty good.
Holy man.
Yeah,
you've got like
tomorrow. John party.
You're packed.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Dude, that's a good Father's Day weekend.
It's like, haven't done anything in quite some time, and I've been so okay with it. And then now we're outside, we're you know, out in the world and seeing people and having fun and doing the living. Yeah. It's good.
Yes, sir. That's incredible. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait to sing some tunes tomorrow night. I'm going to go to work with no voice on Thursday.
Some John Party tunes. I've heard you do this at your wedding. I love it. I love singing Tyson.
Yes. It's going to be fun.
It makes me smile when you're that happy when you're singing your braids out.
Yeah. Good time.
That's my boy.
We all need that.
That's my boy.
We all need that. But this has been fun, man. We got to catch up on some cool moments in the sports world and go through what we're doing on our Father's Day weeks.
Yeah.
Pretty special one for myself.
Of course. Number one.
Sure, it's always special for you, and you get to hang out with your fam. And I know we won't get to hang this weekend, but we'll
chat Sunday.
We'll be chatting.
This one's yours though.
Yeah,
this one's yours.
This one's mine, and
all yours.
And I appreciate that. And we're gonna enjoy it.
You should live it up.
Well, I think that's all I got, fella. Let's.
I gotta go pack.
Hit the road. I'm gonna hit the sheets, get a beautiful night's sleep, so I can sing some tunes tomorrow night.
Yes.
Here I go again. I'm drinking one. I'm drinking two. I got that.
Yes. I love it. Heartache medication. Let's go.
I'm gonna be screaming that one. It's not gonna be.
You should. You should. He'll play it towards the end. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's gonna be quite a few that are gonna be taking the old vocal cords for a ride.
Yes, sir. Kevin Miller is his drummer. He's very good.
Nice.
You'll like watching him.
I'll say what's
He's
up.
A force. Yeah.
I'll give him a yell.
Give him a shout out. He's a dad too, so he's in the club.
Perfect.
He's in the dad club.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to listening to Kevin and John do their thing for sure.
They will.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you got something out of this. And if we learn nothing else, it's that no one is safe from the diaper blowouts. So just another week in fatherhood here.
That's it.
This has been episode 16.
Later.